Today we'll learn how to make a FEM analysis with respect to the trusses. For that purpose I have taken an example, uh, the truss which is fixed at the one end whereas the other end is completely free. So this truss consisting of two elements, element 1 and the element 2, and both the element 1 and 2 it has been fixed at a certain point. Now we will calculate what is the deformation which is going to take place in the element 1 and as well as the element 2 along with the stress calculations, right? So in order to calculate in the FEM manner, I am going to take this as a one element, element number 1, and this as a second element, element number 2. For the element number 1, we will have the 4 deformations. Along the x-axis, we will have the 2 deformations, that is the q1 and the q3 at a 2 different node point. Already we have learned what do you mean by the node. These are the 2 nodes. So q1 and the q3 are the displacements which is going to occur along the x direction, and q2 and the q4 are the displacement which may occur along the y direction with respect to the element 1. Similarly, if I could have considered the second element, the q3 and the q5 are the deformation which is going to occur along the x direction, and q4 and the q6 are the deformation which is going to occur along the y direction. So now I will show how to apply the FEM, the theory, to this truss element in order to calculate the deformation which is going to occur at the element 1 and as well as the element 2, and even we will calculate the stress which is going to develop in the element 1 and as well as the element 2. So generally you know the equation KQ is equal to F, which is called as the global stiffness matrix for every FEM analysis. First let me calculate the K, then later on we will come to know what do you mean by the Q and as well as the F. To calculate a K, I need to calculate a K with respect to these two elements. So the K is going to be divided into the two elements K1 and as well as the K2. So the K1 is going to be calculated by using this formula in case of the truss element, which is given by A1 into E1 divided by L1 with respect to the certain matrix, that is the L square Lm minus L square minus Lm. Similarly Lm m square minus Lm minus m square minus L square minus Lm L square Lm minus Lm minus m square minus Lm and the m square. This is how we are going to find out the stiffness matrix with respect to the element 1, that is K1. Similarly with respect to the element 2, which is called as the K2. Now question arises how to calculate the L and M. In case of the truss element, we will calculate the L and M with respect to the each element which I had created by using this certain box. You can refer the box now. The element, with respect to the each element, we got a L and M. In the matrix you are finding the 4 different criteria, that is L square, Lm and m square. Then L square, m square and as well as the L. Now let us calculate these 3 criteria, that is the L square, m square and the L. So first let me consider the element 1 now. Always we need to find out the angle of the each element with respect to the horizontal position. If I could have considered the element 1, it is at an angle about a 180 degree or 0 degree we can consider. This is the 0 degree, 0, that's why theta will become 0. L is given by L equal to cos theta, cos 0 is 1, and m equal to sin theta, sin 0 is 0, L square will become 1, m square is 0, then Lm will be 0. Now let us calculate the theta with respect to the second element. So this will be calculated by considering with respect to the horizontal position. If I could have considered here, this is going to become a 180 plus this angle, that is phi. So this angle, it is around 28.801 degree. It has been given now. This is around 28.01. So thus the theta will become 180 plus 5. It will become 180 plus 28. Nearly it will be around 208 degree. So this L will become cos of 208 degree, its value is around minus 0.088. M is minus 4.47. L square will become minus 0.77. M square is 0.22 and LM will get a 0.4. So in this manner we will calculate the L square, M square and as well as the LM. All these values of the L square, M square and LM, they are going to be put in the equation of the stiffness matrix with respect to the element 1 and as well as the element 2. If you put it here, you will get some equation consisting of an K with respect to the some answers. This is the K1 value and this will become a K2. Now let me calculate the global stiffness matrix. Already in the previous class we have studied how to frame the global stiffness matrix with respect to the each element. So for that purpose I will consider the node, the deformations with respect to 1. This is the first node, second node and the third node. If you observe here, first node is with respect to the Q1 and Q2, second node is with respect to Q3 and Q4. That's why I had considered the element 1 stiffness matrix with respect to 1, 2, 3 and 4. Similarly, if I consider the element 2, it is with respect to 3 and as well as the 4. So this 3, 4, 5 and 6 with respect to the element K. Now we will find out the global stiffness matrix, that is called as the K. So how to calculate this one means, let me consider this will become the 6 by 6 matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Similarly here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now let me consider the row 1 and the column 1. Row 1 and the column 1 is with respect to this stiffness matrix 1, 1, it will become an L square. Okay. Then second column, first row, second column, first row, it will become an LM. Similarly, by considering the each row 1, 1, then 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5 or 1, 6, you need to calculate the stiffness matrix, that is the global stiffness matrix. Now question comes to the deformation matrix, that is the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and Q5 and the Q6. If you observe here, Q1 and Q2 are the deformation which is going to occur at node 1 which is already fixed, thus there will be no deformation. Similarly, if I could have considered the third node, the third node is concerned with the deformation Q5 and the Q6 which is already fixed. That's why the Q1, Q2 or Q5, Q6 they will become a 0. They will become 0. Q1, Q2 and Q5 and Q6. Now let us consider the F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6. So these are the forces which are going to occur with respect to the each node. Here we will come across a F1 and F2, F3 and F4, similarly F5 and F6. If you observe here, these two end are completely fixed. There is no question of the load at all. There is no load at all. That's why I consider these two as a 0, 0, 0. Similarly, if I go for a node 1, there is no load at all along the x direction, even along the y direction. That's why these two will become a 0, 0. Now come to the second node. Now it is having a load along the y-axis, whereas along the x-axis it is a 0. Along the y-axis it is acting in the downward direction. So F3 is actually the load along the x direction. Load along the x direction is completely 0. So thus I will write it as a 0. Whereas the load along the y direction, it is around 600 Newton in a downward direction. Thus it will become a negative as a reference. So this will become a minus 600. Then we will find out the value of a Q3 and the Q4 now by using the quadratic equation. Before going for the quadratic equation, you should apply the Gauss elimination method. So here this is completely 0. The row 1 is 0. This will become a 0. We need to cancel this thing. The second row is also 0. We need to cancel the second column and the second row. Similarly, if I could have considered the fifth fifth row is 0, thus the fifth column is also going to become a 0. Sixth row is 0, sixth column is also going to become 0. Only it has been left with the 3 and 4 equation, because since the deformation is going to occur only at the 3 and 4, that's why it has been left with the 3 and 4. Now I will show that how to calculate the Q3 and Q4. You got the matrix about Q3 and Q4. KQ is equal to F now. You got now it has been reduced the K into 3, 4, 3 and 4. You will get some value here. Then the Q3 and as well as the Q4 is equal to F. F is 0 and minus 600. So this is the reduced global stiffness matrix. From this we will calculate by using the matrix multiplication. We will calculate the value of any Q3 and as well as the Q4. You got the deformation which is going to occur at the second node. Now we will calculate the stress which is going to occur at the element 1 and as well as the element 2. So the stress which is going to be find out in case of the truss element, it is given by E1 divided by L1 into this matrix, that is a minus L, minus M, L and M. Then U1, U2, U3 and U4. These are nothing but deformations. Since the truss element is going to undergo the deformation along the 6 directions, that's why it has been written as an U1, U2 or U3 or U4. Even you could have write this as a Q2, Q1, Q2, Q3 or a Q4. So in this manner we will calculate the sigma 1 and as well as the sigma 2. So this is how we are going to find out the deformation and as well as the stress in case of the truss element.